So Coach Kirk here again, another little video. This time I'm going to roll out one of the little like tricks or gimmicks I like to use, which this thing is called the rope bat. Pretty self-explanatory. It's got a rope, but I really like this one. The kids seem to really like it. So with youth kids, for me, it's just a guy one. They seem to flock to it. Everyone wants to do it. It also gives them feedback that's very understandable for them. So, you can put two of them on a tee at a station, and it requires, not as much supervision as maybe some other drills that you'd have them doing. So this is one where, you can set a tee out, send two of them, one of them puts the ball in the tee while the other one hits, tell them, do 5 and switch or 10 and switch, whatever you want. And then, it's one more station they can do. The kids are getting more swings. And like I said, it's one that doesn't need tons of supervision, so they can get something out of it without, dictating too much of your time. But it's kind of neat. So you'll notice pretty short. So in this case, has some numbers on it, which relates to the length of the bat. All the way at the very end of the bat's 33-inch. This is a 33-inch bat. So you can see, if I line it up, the little kind of thick part lines up pretty nicely with the barrel of the wood bat where you'd want to be hitting something anyway. So it's kind of nice. So if you are hitting something off a tee, you have this very small, basically just sweet spot that corresponds with the sweet spot on your barrel in order to hit the ball off the tee. So this is one way where it gives feedback pretty instantaneously, because if you completely whiff it, again, with especially my daughter, she liked to step away from the pitch. So when she was lined up, she would actually, when she did her step, she would step out this way. So with this rope bat, if you step out and try to swing at this thing, you're gonna end up missing it. Whereas with more standard wood bat, because I have a little more length to it, I can hit it off the very end here. I can line up normal, I can step off, and I can still kind of flip it off the end like that. Whereas, in a game with a hard ball, hitting it off the very tip of the bat, you're not going to make good contact. You're probably going to get out. But here, you end up just missing it. So it's kind of nice, because she would do that a couple times. She would step out and miss. I'm like, okay, what happened? She'd step out, miss again, and then she'd eventually figure out, like, oh, I'm stepping out. And then she'd take a nice normal step and then swing normal. The other thing this doesn't allow you to do, again, because since it has this rope, you got to swing it. You can't kind of just try to make contact, because you won't get that nice whip to it that you need for it to stay nice and straight. So if you don't actually kind of whip it through, it doesn't get enough motion. You'll end up going over it or going under it. And again, so just kind of gives them instant feedback, well, oh, I'm not actually even swinging it hard enough. And then the other thing that I think it helps with is, one always talks about connection. So here, the way you use this is this kind of black part is supposed to sit in the middle of your back right here. So all the kids can kind of feel that weight in the middle of their back. And then, so at this point, if you are going to come off of, or become disconnected, get your hands away from your body too quickly, you're going to end up pulling this forward like this, and it just doesn't work as well. Whereas I suppose you here, it's in the middle of my back, I tell them you should feel it in the middle of your back until you're all the way, you've already turned, and now as you feel it start to roll off is when you snap through. So again, there's a lot of different things that this kind of hits on that I think is really good for kids. Now again, so this is a gimmick and a tool. So a lot of things I've shown before is really easy stuff, PCB pipe, dowel rods you can buy from hardware store, everything's super cheap. So this one is not going to be super cheap. But I went ahead and got it because basically for all those reasons I was talking about, is the kids love to use it. It doesn't require a lot of supervision. And again, it's another station that you can add to your practice, which is going to maximize the practice time. Like, for instance, my league, we only had an hour and a half. And we only had, 4 practices before we were having games. So I did a lot of stations. This was one of the stations I did. And again, just getting them more swings before their game situation. So I'm going to attach a couple videos of just me swinging this, and then hope you guys kind of enjoy it. You can see the benefit of it. And another little tip from me to you for my first season of coaching. All right, we'll see you in the next video.